Yeah, welcome back, y'all. I do this little show for my man Jerram Lowe. He had asked me to do a little show speaking about, because I guess they're still talking about Lamar Jackson can't throw and all this kind of stuff and whatnot. And I kind of made my bones. I'm doing a show on him a couple years right before when he was coming out in the draft and everything. And that kind of helped me spike up my subscribers. Don't have a whole bunch, but like I said, it's all about the love. I ain't really worried about the other stuff at all. That one will make a living or nothing like that. So we're not going to even go that route. I'm just happy to do this, and if somebody like to hear my opinion on something, I think that's pretty cool. But it's from my man Jerram Lowe. I think that's how you say my man's name. I'm not sure. That's where it's spelled. That's where I'm looking at it. So sorry if I butchered the name up, Mr. Lowe. But yeah, man. But peep this out. James Harris, Doug Williams, Joe Gilliam, Warren Moon, cats like Vince Evans, Randall Cunningham, Rodney Peete, Mike Vick, Jeff Blake, you got Donovan McNabb. I mean, we've had quarterbacks, tons of quarterbacks that have come into this particular league and whatnot. And it's always going to be a knock on them about something. That's just the way it is. There's no getting around it. There's none getting around. They have opened up the whole thing with Kyler Murray to the point where it's not even funny no more on how much they've opened up this stuff about Kyler Murray and his size and this and that and everything like that, right? And I find it, funny that they really did that. You know what I'm saying? Considering the fact that it really wasn't that much of a difference between that of Kyler Murray's size and, let's say, Johnny Manziel. They were trying to say at one time Johnny Manziel was 6'2", 210 pounds. Manziel was 5'11", about 5'11", and about 196 pounds. Come on. You know what I'm saying? But all of that, in spite of all the antics that Johnny Manziel would do, that was, like I said, the too much too soon syndrome with that young man. But, and all that. So it's going to always be something. They talked about Vince Young and his funky throwing style. That's not the reason why Vince Young's not in the league now, or ended up burning out in the league. He ended up burning out in the league because Vince Young did not, and I've talked about this before, did not take his craft serious. That's your job. This is how you eat, man. This is how you eat. So them guys didn't do that. When Mike Vick went through all the stuff that he went through, by the time Vince Young was getting ready to go into his second year in the league, right? Vick got hit up for the whole dog thing. And as time would come out, but anybody that watched football knew that Vick was just going straight off of his talent and his talent alone. Mike Vick didn't work on reads. He didn't work on reading defenses. He didn't work on all that stuff. He just worked off of raw talent. When he finally put it all together and got his act together, you saw he put together an MVP season that year. I mean, Brady ended up winning the award, but he was right there. You see? And had a couple other productive seasons and whatnot. He's going to always be known as one of the most electrifying players ever, but he squandered it. But it had nothing to do with no ability. Not every black quarterback is going to come into the league and be the savior. Look at your Jamarcus Russells. He's one of the main reasons why they had to put a cap on these rookie contracts. He's one of the jokers got $37 million off the break. And what did he do? He ate his way out the league. Again, had immense talent, arm talent anyway. I wasn't that sold on him, but he had a big arm. And I'm like, well, if you give other jokers an opportunity who has big arms and lay around and get fat off of a check, making 6 figures a year, just holding a clipboard, well, shit, he should be able to do the same thing as well. That's what I be trying to sit up and explain to some of these pro football players, especially these quarterbacks. Hey, man, do like the rest of them guys do. You know what I'm saying? His guys sit around and get a check for 10, 14. You got John Kitners and all them guys sat around, got checks forever. Do it. Vince, like Rodney Peete said, Rodney Peete didn't have the greatest career and whatnot and stuff like that, but he was in the league 13, 14 years and made some nice money and stuff like that. He was able to take care of his family and whatnot. people forget about, I remember I was just looking at some stuff about Jeff Blake. People only probably remember Jeff Blake had a run where he did pretty good. With 94, 5, and 6, I believe, or 95, 96, 97. Had a Pro Bowl year. Cincinnati, they won a few games here and there. He played a nice little bit and stuff like that. I ended up flaming out. But not all these guys, Achilles Smith, Jamarcus Russells, tons of other guys and stuff. It's not going to happen. But they have a right to play and have an opportunity to compete and play the position like all the other quarterbacks who was highly decorated coming out of college and all this stuff and end up having all these long careers but sitting up there holding the clipboard. Show me the Alabama quarterbacks that's won all the national championships under Lou Saban and under Nick Saban and everything, and show me where they at in the league. You know what I'm saying? I mean, those are just facts, man. Now, Oklahoma might be getting ready to break the mold a little bit here with, between you got, Mayfield and you got, Kyler. But for the most part, even with them, USC quarterback. I mean, we can go on and on and on about the whole quarterback position in itself, but guys have a right. So a lot of these black or Nubian quarterbacks that come out, it's going to always be something. They didn't expect anything out of Russell Wilson. Look at what Russell Wilson is doing. And like I said up there, and I made this statement the other day. It's like anytime they start talking about top echelon quarterback, Russell Wilson's name is never even mentioned in there. Even disrespected him on the NFL top 100 players. And like I said, they put up Odell Beckham as far as higher than him on the list. And this guy missed 4 games. Wilson has not missed a game since he's been in the league. And he's been to 2 Super Bowls. He's carried his team when they have dismantled that team that's supposed to still be mantled, but they dismantled that team. And he's still there. He's missed the playoffs 1 year since he's been in the league. And because Odell Beckham is still living off of that 2 or 3 finger catch and a few one-handed catches here and there, in the last 2 years has missed 16 games. And show you how disrespected he is. Don't even get me started with the whole thing about with Cam. Cam is a lot of flack. Yeah, a lot of flack and stuff like that because they've never seen nobody like Cam before. When Cam puts everything together, Cam is scary. But they got to always critique his game. So even in the year when he won the MVP and Offensive Player of the Year and All-Pro First Team, they still was telling this guy accumulated 45 touchdowns and almost 4,000 yards. I mean, over 45, almost 5,000 yards of a total. Come on, around close to over 4,500 yards of total offense or something like that. Come on, Donovan McNabb. It's always going to be something said about these guys. You can't tell me that Lamar Jackson can't throw the football. Now I can tell you that Baltimore is known for not having no wide receivers. I can tell you that. Best wide receiver they basically have, and they got an aging Steve Smith, basically. When they had Anquan Bolden a couple years ago when they won the Super Bowl, and Crabtree was all right. But I'm like, but for the most part, I said, you got nobody. I said, we'll see who's going to have to throw to. I'm not really that keen up on that right now, but we'll see. But he's going to be fine. And I told you this, and guys, I've already told you this. The college game is in the pro game now. It's there. RG3, go back to RG3. It's not about that RG3 can't play. RG3 got caught up in the same thing that Manziel basically got caught up in. But you're going to be looked upon in a microscope when you are a Nubian or black player in the league. They expect you to be Superman all the time, and sometimes it just doesn't work that way. But they're gonna be critiqued, my man. They're gonna critique them. That's just the name of the game. That's the name of the business at that position. They're gonna critique them. We can dominate and play every other position, and we can do the same thing with that. And that's what is scaring them about the influx of Nubian quarterbacks that's coming into the league. And they right now, they're probably crossing their fingers hoping something happens, hoping that to Kyler Murray. Nah, he's a natural, and I told y'all that. Dude's a natural. He's a prodigy. He's all that. He's all that what they tried to make that Todd Marinovich guy be. This guy's a real goddamn deal. He's the real deal. And I've told y'all this before. I've watched him since he played in high school. Watched him. Because I remember his father played. We were around the same age when his father played A&M, and his father was nice until he went around and broke his ankle. He just couldn't get it to the whole pro thing. So it's there. And when you got guys like Larry Fitzgerald saying this guy, if Larry Fitzgerald is sitting up there praising this guy off the top, and he really hasn't had much quarterbacks. He only had really 2 quarterbacks in his long career. Basically, both quarterbacks in the latter part of their career that he's basically had. He hasn't had nobody to grow with it. Now he's on his last leg, and this guy here, I guarantee you, everything goes fine with them. You get a little running game around him and stuff like that. You're going to watch Kyler Murray's getting ready to be a legend. He already a Texas legend. See what he did at Oklahoma. That's just 1 year. Just think that what he would have did, say if he played this year. Just think about it. You see what I'm saying? So, so my man, Jerome Lowe, this is for you, man. Like I said, this is what it comes down to. It's going to always be a critique. And what these guys got to do, go out there and play your game. Go out there and play your game. It's going to be some place where Cam Newton's got to run the ball 7-8 times a game and get 45, 50 yards. That's part of his game. Same with Russell Wilson. Even though he buys time a little bit and stuff like that, he wants to buy time a little more before he actually takes off and run. But Russell Wilson can do the same exact thing. And they don't, because of he's mild mannered, they don't say much, and that's part of the difference. Well, he's mild mannered, don't say a whole lot, but that's just it though. They don't say a lot, but they don't ever put him in the upper echelon with them other quarterbacks, and all he does is win. He's been a winner since he's come to the league. So it's going to always, the black quarterback will always be critiqued when he comes to playing that position. He won't be critiqued really anywhere else because he's dominated and he's all pro in all of those other positions all throughout the years. But at this particular position, he's going to always be critiqued. And Lamar Jackson is going to be no different. Deshaun Watson, no different. Even though he's mild-mannered, they might not say much, but they didn't O'Brien them they would let him go his first year and he got hurt and stuff like that or whatever. Like his game, let him play his game. Them guys play their game, and that's what happened. It breaks the mold of what you're used to, and people don't like that. All right, y'all check me out. Comment, smash that like button down there. Subscribe to the channel, share that with somebody, share it with somebody else, man. Check it out. Like I said, there is no GOAT, there's no GOAT, there's no greatest of all time, as long as time's still going on. And like I tell y'all all the time, numbers don't lie and get emotional. People do. We be back next time. Y'all have a good one.